What's up, y'all, man? It's BCA, ready for war, not for play. And the topic for today, you already seen it, man. Emotional intelligence and semen retention. This video, man, first and foremost, I want you all to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. I really want you to subscribe, man, because I'm creating content that's against the culture, like I told y'all. It's also content that I want people to become better with. Like, even though if you're not practicing semen retention as a woman and stuff like that, it's still principles and things you can learn from this channel to improve yourself too, man. So let's get right into it, man. Like I said, I got the book out again, man. You know, we're gonna do the book. We're gonna go back into the reading style of things, going back to the brick and mortar of things, right? So, man, first thing I want to talk about is, man, is your self-awareness increase. So what happens is when you're not on semen retention or NoFap and stuff like that, you aren't really self-aware as you should be. What I mean by that is you don't take as much accountability as you need to when it comes to your emotions when you're off of semen retention. So you will have situations happen where you start blaming people for what they do. You start thinking, you start becoming extremely self-centered. You become a person that's like, you know, entitled, you know, stuff like that, man. You really be on your high horse a bit when it comes to your emotions, and you believe people should move to your beck and call, man. I was a person that was like that. I really was like, before I really took SR seriously, I really wanted people to move to my beat. Like, when I set the beat, you supposed to dance to it, and if you don't dance to it, what's wrong with you? You know, that was my problem. And that part of me was not empathetic, not sympathetic, you know, very inconsiderate person, you know what I'm saying? But overall, obviously, you know, my good outweighed my bad, but those are things that I recognized about myself, where I was not being considerate of others, man. But semen retention creates this self-awareness within yourself to be where you need to be when it comes to your emotions. So when you look at things, for example, I had a situation, and I could talk about both ways of it when I talk about self-awareness. I had a situation happen. It was the same situation. And it always comes down to lack of communication and or reciprocation, right? So as one situation where I expected somebody to do something, they didn't do it, I get mad at that person because I put expectations on that person. That's my fault for even putting expectation on somebody that possibly can't meet the expectation. And this conversation wasn't had per se. It's just, in general, I would expect people to do certain things because I would do that, right? And the inconsiderate, unself-aware person was like, man, they tripping, bro. I don't know why they ain't doing this and doing that when, you know, I'm like this. And I was just mad at them because they didn't do those things. When I started SR, same situation happened again. This time, I was like, okay, you know, everybody got lives and stuff like that, got stuff going on. Maybe I should ask them, hey, what's going on? How everything going? Like, are you okay? Stuff like that. Versus automatically thinking somebody is just ignoring or whatever it may be. Whatever I thought in my mind that they were doing, I would think that they're doing their thing and not say anything. You know, I just be quiet, right? But what happened with SR, which is funny, is that I would have these thoughts that stuff is happening, and then like the next day, what that person was lacking reciprocative wise, they started doing it the next day. Like, it was like I didn't have to say anything, and it was because more so I was self-aware, and also I was understanding the empathy piece without saying much. And sometimes I would, you know, reach out to just ask a question, but most of the time I just became a recluse and just was quiet, you know, and not really say anything because I had to think about all outcomes of the situation. Like, if I say this, what does this entail turn for that person to do next, right? What are they going to think and say? How do they feel about me? Those are the things I thought about while on SR. Without SR, I'm not thinking about that. I'm like, y'all tripping. That's what I'm thinking off top. All right, so your self-awareness increases off top, man. The next thing is shadow work. Shadow work and therapy becomes your best friend. And what I mean by that is, man, if you don't have a therapist, definitely go find you one. And I'm not talking about get a therapist for you to have for 5, 10 years. I just want you to get a therapist, to have somebody to talk to about what's going on with you, man. This unbiased opinion that doesn't care about your responses. It's people in your life that really would not help you because they think that you're going to respond weird. What I mean weird is being mad at them and stuff like that, because they think that you can't take accountability. So if you're a person like that and you've been told that before, you definitely need a therapist, man. If you can't take accountability or constructive criticism from people that care about you, that you believe they care about you, you need a therapist, man. That's just straight up. I can't even say it any differently than that, because once you get you a therapist that really is trying to help better you, your life will change. And that happened with me, man. I got a good therapist. My life started to change and stuff like that. And my therapist recommended books and everything for me. So I started to see those changes within myself by doing the work. That's the therapy piece in itself. You're going to naturally understand more about yourself through therapy, right? Shadow work. Shadow work, I would say, is the most refreshing, agitating, graceful thing that you probably can do for yourself. Because shadow work goes back to the younger version of yourself. You talk about how you were when you were young. How did you get to where you are now? What things hindered you from not being the successful person you need to be? What things were the foundation to build you to who you are? And you're still building now, but like, what were your principles that you grew up on, and what was something that pivoted you from being on this good path or whatever it may be, right? That's what shadow work does. And when you are on SR, you naturally will start to do things to try to better yourself and challenge yourself, and also intuitively look at your mindset and be like, okay, I need to really write down something and see what's going on with me, including doing therapy. So those definitely is going to help, man. Meditation is a tremendous thing that I recommend you practice on SR, to really go inside without feeling like trash. Like, a lot of people don't know how to meditate, and it's fine. You just have to practice. You're going to meditate. Sometimes you're really going to just go to sleep. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Sometimes you're going to meditate in 15 minutes. You may go to sleep 7 minutes out of the 15, and it's fine. The goal is just create the intention to go inside and think and refresh your mind on your thoughts. Because these meditations, it's so many free ones out there. You don't even have to, pay for it. Just find you some meditation to do 15 minutes, man. I personally do Apple Fitness Plus. Shout out to my guy Christian. All of the people out there at Apple Plus Fitness community, right? Thank you all so much, because they've helped me tremendously with all of the different resources on that app, but also the meditations they have where you could pick. You want to talk about breathing, you want to talk about sleep or gratitude or whatever, right? Like peace, like whatever type you want to do, you can do, and you can just do it and go from there. Meditation helps refresh your mind, reset yourself. I have times where I do it as much as I can, but I've been lacking lately. But I try to do at least 15-20 minutes, at least twice to 3 times a week, as much as I can. But your practice is your practice, man. If you just do it once a week, that's fine. But you need to try to do meditation to increase your emotional intelligence as well. All right. Journaling, man. So journaling is another thing that's going to increase your emotional intelligence while on SR, man. It's one of the biggest things that you can use to vent and to release, is to write it down on paper. We see so many people now in the world that use their craft as their release. Like I told y'all last video, man, Clips just released an album, man, called Let God Sort Them Out. And that first song, The Birds Don't Sing, that song is them telling their story and talking about their parents being deceased, man, and how they, wish they had their parents back, stuff like that. But they really went in tune with themselves to release something like that. Like, you have to go inside to do that. And journaling is one of those things. You have to write this stuff down to release that, whatever that is, to release it, as well as look at it and say, you know what, I'm going to just take a step back, let me chill out, and let me read this journal that I just wrote and look at the things in this journaling about where I'm at right now. I did a journal when I was doing Whole30, writing down every day, you know, how I felt, stuff like that. Like, that journal is right here, right now, right? And I can look back at it and be like, man, that 30 days, man, I remember doing it. That was very intuitive, very intentional. I remember what that felt like, right? Those are the things you create while you're on SR, and that's what increases your emotional intelligence. It's going to naturally do that, and this is one of the things you're going to just become invincible with doing. So make sure you start journaling, man. Make sure your journaling is intentional, and you may need to buy a prompt journal, or you can't do a blank piece of paper, but you need to buy a shadow journal, a shadow work journal, and a regular journal with probably prompts in it. I need you to start doing that ASAP. Because that way you can have documentation of what you're doing daily, especially if you're not doing video, stuff like that. And also you can have a precursor as to where you are in your SR journey and what you're doing. So make sure you do that, man. Another thing, man, NoFap, no alcohol, semen retention equals no escape for you. It's literally a locked-in discipline. And I want you to understand what I'm about to say with this. Those three things I brought up, those are the three things that are going to improve your life to another level. I don't care where you at in life. If you practice these three principles, you're going to see changes. If you do NoFap, no alcohol, semen retention, your life is going to change for the better. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Your life is going to change for the better. And I stand on it. I stand on that for real. What my boy Denzel say in American Gangster, I stand by it. I guarantee it. It's going to be the best thing you've done for yourself. The best thing. You do those three things, you're going to be on the level. And that's going to increase your emotional intelligence so much, because all of these things I'm telling you about are fortifying yourself. When you remove NoFap, they remove the anxiety of you smashing stuff like that, and you locked in. When you remove alcohol, you remove that one substance that can change you from being disciplined to undisciplined just by a sip. That's basically what it does. I don't care who you are, what you're saying. I don't care. I don't care. When you drink and when you don't drink, it's two different people. You know this. So let's not even elaborate on that. I'm not going to talk about that all day. You know what that is for you. You need to stop it. I don't care. Stop it. And if you can't stop it, seek help. You should be able to stop drinking alcohol. And if you got a problem with alcohol, seek some help. I'm telling you, it's going to change your life forever. You can look it up on YouTube. It's so many videos about people stopping alcohol. It's ridiculous on YouTube. Go look that up for yourself. I'm telling you. Go look up NoFap. Because NoFap and semen retention are two different things, as you all know. But go look them all up for yourself. You don't have to listen to me, but I'm telling you, those three practices is going to change you, okay? Now, what happens after that, another one I want to talk about is empathy and silence. Like I told y'all before about the reciprocation and what I felt at the time, right? When you become empathetic to people, you're going to become more silent. You're not really going to say a lot of things as much as you would like to all the time. You're going to be more so a person that's more intuitive and understanding that life is life. And sometimes people are going to disappoint you. And there's no point of going to that person and telling them, man, you're disappointing me in what you did in this. Because at the end of the day, we're all grown people and people know what they do. But at the same time, sometimes the best response is no response. Quoted by my boy Amari Harvey, all right? Ghost power. This has been a mantra of mine a lot, especially when I'm on SR, that sometimes the best response is no response. And it doesn't mean that you're not in masculine frame and none of that stuff, man. When you decide to be cognitive and cognizant enough to be like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about it to that person, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal, that means that you are really taking empathetic role as to what's going on. You know whatever your issue is really not a big deal. And it's just coming from you being emotionally intelligent. All right, okay. The biggest thing I know y'all want to hear, man, women love emotionally stable men. They love it. They may call emotionally stable men boring or whatever it may be, but they love emotionally stable men, man. Women don't like men that don't know how to handle their emotions, because they already have an issue with their emotions themselves as women, right? And when you come in and you got emotional stability issues too. It's like she's dating another woman. So when you have emotional stability and you practicing these practices, you become invincible, man. I'm telling you, you just become on another level, because you're gonna see that, like we talked about it before, man. Women do the test, right? They do the test, man. And they call them S tests or whatever, but women do the test without even thinking about it, right? It's something I want to elaborate a little bit on that. Women do not know they're doing this, y'all. They do not know they're testing you. They're not sitting at home like, how can I test this man and see if he's the protector provider he's supposed to be? Let me do this. That's not how they go. You have women literally that do have malicious intent, but 8 times out of 10, women aren't still there every day trying to test you on purpose. That's just in their DNA to do. And if you can't handle it, you need to keep practicing these practices if you haven't started. But a woman is designed to test you so you can prove to her that you are the protector, provider, masculine man. That's it. Once you pass them tests, you're not going to have no problems no more, man. I'm telling you. Like, I see so many of y'all crashing out over women about what they're doing. At the end of the day, you all are the reason it's like this anyway. Men, all of us, we let all this happen because we were in our feminine frame and all type of stuff. And I'm not going to even go deep into that either, but I'm saying we have to bear responsibility of this and move forward, man. We know this gonna happen regardless. The world of women not testing men would never go away. This always is gonna happen. It's always gonna happen. If you don't have no type of toolbox on how to remedy that, that's on you. But you need to figure it out as soon as possible, because that's what leads to men crashing out on women, because you not know how to control yourself when it comes to the test she do to you. She would do a lot of things to test you to see what you gonna do. Now, you have to decide on how you handle those things, and you have to understand being emotional intelligent is the best way to handle it, okay? Something happens, set them aside or whatever. Hey, I don't do that. Hey, the best way to do this though, if they say something slick or something like that, say, excuse me. That's what you say, just like that. Excuse me, you don't have to be extra like that. Hey, excuse me, that's all you say. And then if it's still something said, you say something like, hey, you standing on that? Or if they take it back if you're not standing on that. Those are 2 indicators you can give a woman on what she said to you, and if she won't stand on what she said. Because if she stands on those things after you've asked those 2 questions, that means they're going to disrespect you, and it's just the best thing to do is remove yourself from that person. No question. I mean, literally, like, sit there and be like, okay, since you're going to continue to disrespect me, I'm out. Like, that's it. Like, it's no conversation to be had. All right. So that's being emotionally intelligent. Now, when you do that, she's obviously is going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that, whatever. But you're not tolerating respect, man. You too old for that. You don't deserve that, especially if you don't do that to her, right? Like, yeah, if you got a type of relationship where you're doing it, y'all both doing it, that's different. They can't be treated the same. But if you're a person that's treating a woman right and everything like that, man, and being a masculine frame, she tests you like that, disrespect, man, go. Next. It's 8 billion people in the world. Just always remember that. All right. Don't let nobody move you off your square in general. I don't care if man, woman, whatever. Don't let nobody move you off your square. When you on semen retention, your emotional intelligence is heightened to where you don't let nobody move you. And I think this helps when you off of social media. Like, when you get off social media, you understand that, hey, like, it's nothing that's really motivating me or pushing me now. I'm really more in control of a lot of things, that I don't even have those different inception ideas about stuff. I went on social media for 1 day this month, like, and I was off for a couple months, right? I went on there with so much inception ideas. Like, you see something and you're like, oh my God, like, no, like, you remove all of it. When you start to lock in and protect your peace and be on your purpose, you will start to see that your emotional intelligence is heightened, because at that point, you are the person that you want to be and nobody told you differently. I want you to practice something too. Write down what you want in your life. Write it down. Write down a piece of paper. It should take some time, but write down a piece of paper what you want in life, man. All of it. Everything you want. Just write it down. I don't care how crazy it is. Just write it down what you want. And don't look at social media, nothing to motivate you. Just write down what you want, okay? That's a little practice I want you to do. Alright? The last but not least thing, man, with semen retention, emotional intelligence, man, is masculine frame is the ultimate power. Without masculine frame, you losing. That's just straight up. What I mean by that is masculine frame is, look at James Bond, you know, look at Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious, like that. Like, look at masculine frame, man, and what that is for you, and how you in frame. You can be in frame, man, and still, you know, still have a little funny side to yourself, stuff like that, where you have people laugh, stuff like that. But like, maintain frame, man. That's the hardest thing to do, is maintain the frame. And these things, these principles, what you're doing is creating the masculine frame for you, because you're not wavering to it. When you on that, when you on that journey of not drinking, and somebody say, hey, you go to drink, nah, that's masculine frame. If somebody say, hey, hey man, you still watching corns like that, man? Nah, I'm good. Like, not saying people ask you that, but I'm just talking about in general. Like, you know, you're not watching corn and stuff. Oh, I'm masculine frame. Semen retention, masculine frame. Journaling, masculine frame. Meditate, masculine frame. I can keep going on a whole list of things. But the biggest thing, emotional intelligence equals masculine frame. All right. So I just want to let y'all know that, man. So I hope y'all got something out of the video today. I know this one's kind of long, man, but I had to just really get it out because this one was on my heart for a minute. So, as always, man, BCA, ready for war, not for play. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and share this video to men out there and women in general, anybody that wants to see improvement in themselves or practicing different things, all right? Especially when it comes to semen retention, NoFap, all of that, right? Like no alcohol, all of that stuff, all right? So I'll see y'all next time, man. BCA out.